This group of girls that worked at the fish processor I gave fish to, and they said it looked like if they made a calendar of fishing captains, I would be one of the people. So my name is Cliff Black. I'm a fisherman, also a firefighter. I've been fishing really my whole life. My dad's a commercial fisherman in Alaska. I kind of grew up fishing in the summer there and then living in Washington in the winter. And I went to college and did finance, but just fishing's in my blood. I just kind of felt compelled to work outside, and I love the camaraderie and the connection with the tide and the wind, the fish or the crab, and just the total experience of working outside. It's a great life. But in 2010, that was the year I bought in. I bought my own fishing permit and boat. Fishing permits are a significant investment. They're typically between $100,000 and $200,000, and so it kind of commits you to fishing for a number of years. And then a boat's a big investment too, obviously. So, and I wrote a business plan, approached an investor, became a fishing captain. And then since I've actually expanded, and I bought a 58-foot fishing boat that I seine in Prince William Sound and crab off the coast. So it's been a kind of an evolution. Before I became a fisherman, I worked in the corporate world. I was a door-to-door salesman. And I graduated with a bachelor's in finance, had a great time in college, did really well. There was a lot of fun aspects to the job, but it was just not fulfilling, totally disconnected from nature. It just wasn't what I wanted to do in my life. I grew up fishing in Alaska during the summer, and then I'd spend all of my free time playing sports or skiing and climbing in the mountains and stuff in the winter. It's just part of who I am. I love being outside. And, as captain, my number one thing is to keep everybody on the boat safe, keep the boat safe. And so I try to avoid the storms and things. But it is commercial fishing, so there's definitely a danger element all the time. And I've been in that storm where we had 45-foot waves that was 300 miles offshore, blowing 100. There was 10 to 12-foot breakers coming in, full rocks, and pretty much certain death, if the boat, you got washed up onto the beach. The boom broke. The boom pin broke. And the 6,000-pound boom was swinging around the deck. Part of the net was actually caught on a rock, and this isn't just a small fishing net. This is a $100,000 fishing net. Luckily, a friend of mine came over and assisted. He actually tied up alongside of us in the breakers, helped us get the net back on board. The waves were so big that our boats were actually smashing cabins. These are $1 million boats, and they're at least $250,000 pounds each. So it's kind of a Clash of the Titans type. We managed to get out of the situation, but it was like running the gauntlet, man. It was. The biggest thing that people don't realize is when working on a commercial fishing boat is the hardest part is not the physical part. It's the mental challenge of being out there. The end is the end of the season. It's not each night, you don't get to go home. You don't get to shower. You don't get to go to your own room. It's just sort of, you get to sleep for 6 hours in your bunk, and you might not get a shower, and you might just have to go to bed and get up and be really tired when you wake up, but that's just the way it goes, so. Definitely eye-opening for everyone. The thing that I love most is all the hats you have to wear. You have to be a businessman. You have to be an engineer. You have to be an electrician. You have to know your boat inside and out. You have to be a leader. You have to be a mariner. Commercial fishing is seasonal. When I'm not doing that, I fight fire. Typically on a hotshot crew, but also as a helicopter firefighter or an engine firefighter. And it's all sort of forest-based as opposed to structural. Been to some of the biggest fires in North America. There's we're driving up this mountain to the top of the fire, and there's lightning, there's dry lightning happening, and there's crown fires rolling, man, and there's just flames are hundreds of feet high, and there's planes and it's like war against fire. And then I've cut down trees that are completely engulfed in fire, and there's the tree is on fire, and I've got a chainsaw, and there's actually the chain actually grabs the fire. It creates sort of wind, and fire shoots out the back of the chainsaw, and it's pretty hard not to feel like a real man, in that situation. But the more challenging role between commercial fishing and firefighting, I would say definitely was commercial fishing. Really because of my role as captain, when I'm firefighting, I'm typically not the lead. I'm part-time. Commercial fishing is my own business, and so all those aspects of owning your own business kind of come into play too. And then really, I'm the one responsible for my crew's safety and the safety of my boat. Definitely, commercial fishing would be more challenging. There's a lot of risk, financially, but it's worth it on those big years. It's definitely. I mean, it's possible to make $1 million in 2 months. My biggest single fishing day, really in less than 24 hours, I grossed about $60,000. It's possible to make a lot of money in a short amount of time. Commercial fishing is definitely its own society. It's totally unique. A lot of the old timers have been fishing together for years. They know each other like brothers, and I give them respect. But I've also got a business. They have their boats paid off. I don't. I've got to make a living. I'm not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but I'm going to go out there and make it happen for myself. There's always conflict at different times. You have a lot of type A personalities. I'm not into violence or anything like that, but it's life on the edge at times.